If you're in your 40s and you notice that you're becoming more introspective, let's talk about that. Hi, I'm Bumi. I'm in my 40s as well, and I have noticed the same thing. I tend to think, more about myself. I think more inwardly. I examine closely my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions. I'm becoming more self aware of what I'm feeling in the moment or even after the moment. And I never used to be like that. I spent the better part of my life pouring into others, thinking about other people, their feelings. I was more or less a people pleaser. I really wanted to, be there for my family. I was that good daughter, sister, wife, mother, and all that. And I really realize now that I pushed most of my own feelings, to the bottom of my of my of my thoughts, my mind. I did not really become self-actualized. I had the external, you know, growth. People could see the external me, and that was what I was focused on, external validation. Like, I became that career woman. I am successful. I had my babies when I should have had them. I got married at, the appropriate age. Yeah, I kind of, I would say I was living the scripts that was designed for me. I was acting out my part. I was I was performing a part. So the part I was performing, the role I was performing, which I was really good at, is that role of um the the girl from Nigeria born into a middle class family who was going to have a professional career. And I did all that. I went to medical school. I got married in my late 20s, had, my babies in my 30s, and I built my career. Presently, I'm a physician researcher. And yeah, I think getting to your 40s just triggers something. You realize that, you don't have to conform or continue performing, and you realize that you matter. Right now, I am going through this journey of trying to see what is it that I actually would have loved to do that I didn't do because of whatever reasons I gave myself. Maybe I didn't have the time, I didn't have the finances. Um, it's just not the thing, you're supposed to do. Stuff like that. I am examining them, and I'm beginning to look into actualizing those things I wanted to do. I haven't quite figured it all out yet, but um one thing I know that I have discovered in this period of introspective thinking is that I want to just stop being a performer. I don't want to do things just because that's what's expected of me, or because in my head I believe that that's the right thing I should be doing. I want to do things because I actually care about them. I want to discover those things that are going to give me joy. Not that I'm not happy right now, I am, but I want to discover those things that will make me happy, happy from within. you know that's the little things. It doesn't have to be maybe the joy of being successful at your career or having children that are doing great. I want that joy to stem from within. Maybe just an afternoon spent reading a novel. I can't remember the last time I read a novel. In my teens and my early 20s, I was such an avid reader. I derived joy from reading all types of books, like real actual books, and that just went away. And yeah, I want to revive that kind of joy I felt when lose myself in a very nice book. Another thing is that I've been trying to think about self-care, and I realized that I'm still performing. I'm performing the role of someone who is doing self-care. I don't know how to explain it, but you see, like, the internet gives us this idea that self-care has to be, you're taking a day out, you're going to the spa, having massages, probably going to dressing up and going to a high-end restaurant and stuff like that, or even traveling to exotic places and all. But I sat down and I thought, really, Bumi, is that your own idea of self-care? To be honest, I'd rather take a nice long, shower, wear really comfortable clothes, and just sit down with a bowl of hot noodles, reading a novel. And that would be like the best self care I have ever given myself. I would rather do that than dress up, drive out, go to a spa, get my body pommeled, plucked, waxed, and then come home in pain. I would I would not regard that as self-care. So that's another thing I want to go away from that performative behavior, like doing the things that people expect, me to do, because that is the picture that we paint of, self-care. That's the picture we paint of being a good mother. That's the picture we paint of being a good spouse, stuff like that. Um, so I'm on that journey, and I know there are people that will probably be thinking the way I'm thinking. I can't be alone, and I know I'm not going crazy, and I know that it's not like I'm embracing, a selfish era or something. It's just that I've poured so much into others. I think it's time for me to pour into myself, just pour into myself, and let's see where that takes me. Yeah. So that's what I came on here to talk about. Um, I'm going to keep using this YouTube channel as my personal blog. This is my second video. I'm going to keep using it as my personal blog. I'm going to document all these things. And if there's even just one person that listens to me and just feels that, wow, this is what I've been thinking, I just couldn't articulate it, I'm satisfied. Yeah. Let's figure this midlife together. Our 40s are really a good time because we've spent our 20s and our 30s, building that career, having the babies, being all the things that society expects us to be. And we have spent 40 decades doing that, and we're most likely going to have an additional 40 decades in this life. Do we still want to keep doing the things that we do just because we're expected to do them? This can be our chance when we're no longer worrying about finances so much. We're no longer worrying about having the bandwidth, the time to be able to explore some of those our own, personal thoughts, our personal goals, the personal little things that we've wanted to do. Let's see if we can do them. Our 40s should be like a great age. Yeah, it should come with some relaxation. We've hustled. Let's relax. Let's enjoy. So I guess that's it. When I figure out that thing or those things that I really would love to do, I'll come on here and mention it. And I have a little updates about the 75-day challenge, 75-day personal challenge that I started 4 days ago on Sunday. Is that 4 days ago? 5 days ago. Today's Thursday. Well, every day has been a first day, honestly. I I always miss out on one thing. I said I was going to do like 5 things, and the 5 things, just for a quick recap, is that I was going to do 1 45-minute exercise every day, keep hydrated with at least 2 liters of water, practice a time restricted eating between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. What else? Yeah, I was going to do Bible study at least 30 minutes, or was it 45 minutes? I can't remember. And I was going to take a progress picture. So you see that progress picture, I've not even taken one. Bible study has been the only thing I've been consistent with. In fact, I've done like an hour, 30 minutes of Bible study because I'm reading the book of John and it's just so interesting reading about the life of Jesus. Time restricted eating. I know I have been starting like my eating window by 12 or later than that. But you see, closing that window is taking a lot from me. I just pray the Holy Spirit helps me. The exercise, I've been trying to do the exercise and I think I've been meeting up. It's not been like 145 minutes at a stretch, but I've been doing like, maybe 15 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 20 minutes there, and it's been adding up. And as for water has really never been a problem. I drink water a lot. That's literally the only fluid, the only liquid I like to take, and so that's not been a problem. All right, giving you guys and myself the updates, because when I say it out loud, it actually means it's true. Yeah. Okay, another thing I think I'm going to add is sleep hygiene. I need to work on my sleep hygiene. Like my Apple Watch keeps telling me, oh, poor sleep patterns, poor sleep this. And that's because the nighttime is only the time I have time for myself. So I use that time to catch up on some things that went lacking during the day. So I don't sleep that much. I really can survive on just a couple of hours of sleep, but I know that's not right. So I'm going to try to do better. All right. If you're watching me, thanks for staying up until this time. Uh, bye.